Hello, BookTube. I'm Peg, and I still love book prizes. I don't have any knitting to show you today, but I am working on something for you followers that like to see my knitting things. I kind of had a little slump, as I understand many people did this last year. I kept reading, but I didn't really feel like talking about books, so I haven't made many videos. But today I got to thinking, you know, there's been a lot of great prizes. I used to follow every prize and talk about it and choose my winner and everything, and I just kind of fell apart. So I've decided the rest of this month I'm going to catch up on some of the book prizes that I neglected to talk about. I'll at least read the winner and probably show you some of the others that are in it. But I just need to talk about book prizes, and maybe some of you are interested. All right, the first one I'm going to talk about today is the Rathbones Folio Prize. This is in England. It was started in 2014, originally by a group there of, I guess, writers and critics who took umbrage at the direction that the Booker Prize was going. They felt like the Booker Prize was going more towards commercial fiction than literary fiction. We won't get into that. I'm not going to argue that. But anyway, so they created the Rathbone Folio Prize. Now, at that time, the Folio Society, I'm not sure if it still is, but it was a publisher of special editions of classics of literature. So it had that history behind it of classics and literary type things. And the rules were that it had to have been published in England, in English, but it could be by an author from any country. So that brings in quite a bit. It was then sponsored, after the second year, it became sponsored by the Rathbones Investment Management Company, which I think threw some bucks in there. And now the prize is up to £30,000 for the winner, which is a nice sum, even though I can't quite change it to dollars in my head, but I know it's more dollars than that. Okay, and the other rule is it can be fiction, nonfiction, or poetry. Now then, the first selection of 60 books is chosen by the 250 members of the Academy. This includes Margaret Atwood, Peter Carey from Australia, I believe, A.S. Byatt and Zadie Smith and other well-known authors. And they pick out, they each get to nominate 3 books, 1, 2, and 3, and then they get scores for however, you know, their 1s, 2s, 3s, and the administration then takes the top 60 books out of that. It'd be fun, but we don't get to see that list. Okay, anyway, and then it says they pick 3 to 5 people from the Academy to be the judges on the short list. Now, I'm not sure how they pick them. That seems like if you wanted certain books, you could pick certain people's. I think they probably blindly pick them. That would probably be the only fair way to do it, because 3 to 5 judges are each person has a pretty strong vote in that. Okay, anyway, so let's see. The short list of this came out in February, and I have some of them that I'll just show you, but I'm really just going to, as I go through the different prizes this month, I'm just going to try to make sure I read the winner. If I try to read all of them like I used to do, I'll never get to the prizes. Okay, the winner was announced on March 24th, so some of you may know who it is, and I'll be talking about that in just a minute. First, I'm going to show you, I happen to have some of the short list, some of which I got for other prizes. These prizes really seem to overlap anymore. So I haven't entirely read all these, and I don't feel up to making any kind of review on them. So what I like to do if you've read this or know anything about any of these, I think I have 5 or 6 that were on the short list, write a comment and let me know. Okay, the first one we have is My Darling from the Lions, and that's by Rachel Long, and it was also on the Costa Book Award short list. Next we have Handiwork by Sarah Baum. I think it says this is a short narrative about art and making art and how it affects the trying to live as an artist. We have The Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey. This has been on many prize lists. I can't remember quite if it's won anything. Let me know if you know or if you've read it. I've read part of it, and it's a little magic realism there, but really good. Okay, the next one is As You Were by Elaine Feeney, and it has the words thrilling, amazing, and superb by 3 different authors on the cover. Don't know really what that's about. I'd like to, though. Okay, and last we have another one that's been on several different lists for speculative fiction. It's called A Ghost in the Throat. I won't say the name. It was on either, I get confused, the Goldsmiths or the Republic of Consciousness Prize, both of which do speculative type experimental fiction. And I'm not sure if it won. I haven't gotten to that point. I'll be reporting on all those prizes as I go because I really need to catch up. Okay, and now for the winner, which is In the Dream House by Carmen Machado. She published a prize-winning book of short stories a couple years ago, and I remember one of them was called The Husband Stitch, and it was quite strange. I don't remember a lot about it, but probably some of you have read that, so write me if you remember that one. Okay, this is the main thing that's really in all the reviews is it takes up the subject of domestic disputes and domestic abuse in gay relationships, which I think has not been done much. And it goes, I assume it's a memoir, so I assume many of these happened to her. It's really well done. She starts out as a young girl and seems to have run into several different abuse type situations. She makes what she thinks is friends with her. She goes to church a lot with the youth pastor there, and they become really too good of friends. You can tell, and don't know if anything serious happened, but you can have that feeling already that she's not able to feel the kind of problems that are there, or anyway, or have anybody to talk to them about. As she had chose her in college and growing up and getting into different relationships with both men and women, and she says that she's very emotional. She makes the comment that it's trying to control her emotions was like trying to control a wild animal. Very, very sensitive person. In it mentions she gets into some threesomes, meets 2 other women in some threesomes, and how that works out, and finally gets in a relationship with another woman. And this is where it shows the sequence of abuse as it builds up, and how she reacts, how people react, probably as in many situations like that, in any kind of relationship. She doesn't talk about it much. It really talks a lot about how that's not really prevalent in much literature, and she would like people to know, and she had many comments from readers that said this is good that we're bringing this to the forefront. So this was a really good book. I'm putting a link to the prize itself, but it has a lot about Carmen Machado and the book and what she thought as she was writing it. It has conversations with her, and if you're interested, you could learn a lot more about her feelings about the situation and the writing. So anyway, I think this is definitely a great winner, and I will be back soon with another book prize that I managed to skip over during COVID. Okay, bye.